Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be making this toolbox decor. I actually got the inspiration from Crafting with JC. So we start off, I got these house-shaped things at Dollar Tree. I used these 1-gallon paint stir sticks, and then these are just ends to 5-gallon paint stir sticks. I got this wooden dowel, it's a 1/2 inch from Dollar Tree, and then just some of the jumbo craft sticks. And then this is a bamboo skewer that I got at Dollar Tree, and it comes in like a pack of 12. So we just start off by removing the stickers on the back. And then we're going to cut down just one end of the jumbo popsicle sticks or craft sticks. This was a great project to use up my scrap wood. So we're just going to glue these jumbo craft sticks onto the edges of the houses. And these houses actually had chimneys on them, and like last year I cut them off and I was going to do something with them then, and then they just got set into my backstock pile of stuff. So this year I decided I'm going to use them. So again, just the tops, I had already put the jumbo craft sticks and I wanted it to look like wood all the way around. So I just added the jumbo craft sticks to every side, top, bottom, and sides. I guess I should say every edge. So just gluing them down, wiping away the excess. Now here, now that we know the right length, this is when I cut down the other end of the craft sticks. So as you put them on, just cut away the excess then. So then we just put it on the bottom. I had a little bit of extra, so I just had to cut it down a little bit so it would fit flush to the edge, bottom edge here. And as you can see, I'm running out of glue. I have tons of other glues. I really like this Dollar Tree wood glue though. It works so good. But I've used the Gorilla Glue and other glues. And then I just tape it here to keep a little bit of pressure on it. And I don't leave the tape on that long, maybe a half hour. But I just wanted to make sure that I securely get it down and it has pressure on it to hold it in place for, like I said, about a half hour. And then I just do the same thing to both of these. So we don't really need to watch and repeat, but we will as soon as we get it all taped and secure into place. I will go ahead and cut off the edges of that bottom. We don't want to leave those on. It's just going to be flush with all the rest. All right, now that that's all dry, we're going to remove all the tape. And like I said, I just gave it about a half hour. You want to give it a full 24 hours before you put any stress on it. But within a half hour, you can start working on your project again. So now I want to measure the wooden dowel that's going to go on the top of it. And I just want it to go halfway through. So I'm going to measure one of the sides of the house and then with the 1 gallon paint stir stick on it. And that should make it go halfway through both if you remove one of the sides of the houses. Now I'm just going to measure and try to find, I think I did it about an inch down, and then find the center on both of them. And I'm just going to mark it so I know where I'm going to drill my hole. And then I just use a 1/2 inch drill bit for this. Now I have a special little tool that goes on the end of the drill bit that stops it. But really, you can just put a piece of tape on it and stop where the tape's at so that you don't go all the way through. You don't have to have this little thing that I have. I just like it because I don't have to pay attention. It's going to stop it. But yes, tape works just as well if that's what you have. So now that I have that on, I'm making sure that it's not going to go all the way through and it's only going to go halfway, and then I just drill a hole right where I have it marked. And then we have our hole, perfect, and the dowel fits in. So we're going to pull that out and we're going to do it exactly on our other mark. And then just until my stopper stops me, and then we're perfect. So we're going to clean up our mess, and then we're going to insert the dowel because we can't insert this later. Because once we start building the sides of the box, it's going to be in place. So we're going to get our dowel in place right now. I just wanted to make sure it fit in both. And then I'm going to put quite a bit of glue down in the holes. And then I'm going to shove the dowels inside. Or the one dowel inside. I know I don't see these wooden dowels very often at Dollar Tree, but they do have the 2-pack of the wooden dowels. That's where I got these, but you can also find them at like Walmart or somewhere else if you can't find the 1/2 inch wooden dowels. So now I'm just starting on the sides of the box with my 1 gallon paint stir sticks, and I'm just going to glue those on. These are pretty much just the ends are cut off of them. I used the ends in another project. So again, this was actually scrap wood for me, but you can just use the 1 gallon paint stir sticks and cut off the ends if you want to do this project and don't have scrap wood. But I keep all my scraps so that I can use them for other projects. You never know where you're going to need a small piece of wood. So then I just tape these down so it will hold where it needs to be for a ½ hour. And then I do the other side exactly the same. So now I grab my bamboo skewer, and we want this to fit right on the inside edge. So I'm going to mark the skewer, and then I'm just going to cut them with my tin snips. But you can also use the Dollar Tree like gardening pruners. Those work really good for the dowels. And I just use the one dowel to measure the other one, and then that should fit right inside. So this is going to be our ledge where our 5 gallon paint stir sticks fits right on. So we're just going to glue this on the inside lower ledge. Apparently I was a little long, so I'm going to trim some off. And there we go. Fits perfect. So just push it up against the side. Make sure we have a nice snug fit. And then I'm cleaning up my excess. I don't know why, because we're going to put more glue on that. And like I said, I'm running out of glue here. So once we have these snugly in place, we're going to leave those for a half hour, let it sit off to the side. While we're waiting, we're going to take our 5-gallon paint stir sticks and we're just going to cut off those curved edges so we have a nice flat piece. This is an awesome way to reuse those ends that you didn't use in another project. Now, some of them I cut to the exact same size as others, and then there are a few pieces I cut smaller, and I just kind of assorted them out, and I didn't put all large and then some smalls. I kind of put a small, a couple large, a small, or a more narrow one. But yeah, I just used my razor blade and Dollar Tree square to cut these down so I can get a nice straight edge. I just go a couple times, and then once I get a nice groove in it, I take it off and I just use my knife and cut through that groove, and it just takes like maybe 5 or 6 times and you'll be all the way through it. And then I use the next one to cut down the following one. But at some point in time, like if you want to cut them all the same, you can. But at some point in time, you're going to have one that's narrower because this isn't going to fit completely perfect in the bottom of your box. So you need to figure out, what thickness you want to cut it at to make it fit. So once we're all done cutting those down, I took them to my miter box and I just sawed them down to the right length. And then we're going to put glue on the ledge and we're just going to place these inside of there. And see here, I accidentally put 2 smalls next to each other. That was a mistake, and you're going to see I'm going to fix that in just a second here. And there we go, we have it back in. And now it fits perfect. So we're just going to let all this dry now. Give it a good half hour. And those sides had already been drying for a half hour, so I'm going to remove the tape. But make sure that you don't really play with that bottom too much for a half hour. And I just put a little weight on it just so that, and those were some drill bits I had, but just so it had some pressure on it, make sure it glued down nice and firm. And that's what it looks like when we're to this point. So next, I'm going to get some of the Folk Art wood tint in the shade Walnut. And I'm going to stain literally the whole thing except for the black chalkboard. I wanted it all to blend in. I even stained the MDF just to darken that up as well. The fronts of it, if you want to leave white, you can leave them white. I wanted to darken them up, so I put some wood tint on that as well. But like I said, if you want to leave it white, just put some painter's tape and tape it off, and then you don't have to stain yours. But I wanted to darken up the whole thing. And then we're just going to spread that, like I said, everywhere, including the MDF. And then we'll wipe off all of our extra. And that's it, all stained and ready to go. So next step, I used my Cricut and cut out an inspirational message. You can find a stencil or you can just handwrite it on. I just used a chalk marker to do this. So I'm pulling it off and then I'm using it as a stencil here. So I put everything on and then I got to put in like the center of the A and stuff and get it all pushed down. So here's where I'm pulling out the A, and I think I have to do the D and the O. And then we're just going to use our chalk marker and write in, copying that stencil. Now I love what this message says. Falling down is an accident. Staying down is a choice. So just continuing to remove. You got to remove the O, the A, all those parts and pieces, and then just where it ripped. And then I put a second message on the other side. You only fail when you stop trying. And I think these are two important messages for people to remember and think about. So again, same thing, just using the chalk marker and going into the stencil. And don't forget, you can handwrite this in. My handwriting's not that great, so I didn't want to, but you could find another stencil. You can write whatever you want. This is totally customizable. And if you get sick of what you wrote in, you can just wipe this off because it's just a chalk marker. So just get some cleaner, wipe it off, write a new message. You can change it up for any decor, any season, whatever you want. And I love this little box because it can be used for so many things. Honestly, that's it. We're done. That was the end of it. So you can put whatever you want in it now. You can use it as a planter box. You could use it in your craft room, put your pens in it, whatever tools you want. And it's just an awesome little message to read. So here it is all finished. I put some mostly succulents in it. But again, you can use it as a planter box or whatever you choose. It's completely up to you. This is a totally customizable project. I hope you guys enjoyed this beautiful piece, and I hope you stop in and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.